Okay guys, we're inside of Helldivers, and it's been a ship-shapey day today. This one is an interesting one to say the least, because we've got a major order failed, a major order we want to complete, and some fun at the end of it. Also on top of that, we need to talk about Joel, because this guy needs to change a few bits and bobs. That's not me being negative, this is me being realistic. So we're going to take a look at that one as well. And the former CEO and current CCO has shown a clip over on Reddit. And it's quite an interesting one, because apparently a lot of you guys can't imagine this guy without a helmet. So we're going to take a look at that one as well. And we've got an incredible story coming from a Helldiving dad, as well as the talk of what new content actually is. So with that being said, if you haven't already, smash the beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. On top of that, check out our sponsor, Control Freak, the #1 in controller gaming aiming. Yes, that's right. We made it rhyme. But not only that, if you guys head down to the description and use code CloudPlayers at checkout, you'll get a cheeky 12% discount, and that's much better than 10. So let's take a look at what it is that's happening inside of the Helldivers community. Starting off, we are in game, and we failed the previous major order, which is by no surprise to most people, as we didn't manage to take out the 3 billion enemy threats that they wanted us to do. Now, I think there has been some calculations by a good friend of mine, Lieutenant Buzz Lightbeer, who did the original calculation stating that out of all of the people that are playing, of around an average of 50,000 a day on Steam and around an average of 50,000 a day on PlayStation. And again, I say average because it works on a narrative of sometimes it's 100,000 in a day, sometimes there is just shy of 40,000 in a day. So we averaged it on 50k. And if every single one of those got involved with it every single day, for the 3 billion kills that they needed for it, we would have had to suffice 33,000 kills per player, which for the average Joe is probably not going to be too viable or too possible at all. And we probably finished at about 10% less than what we actually needed, and this was with the community that are playing the game to go in and absolutely hammer it the most that they possibly could. Now, the former issue that we've got right here is that this major order was to take out any enemy that fought against democracy. And that's an issue, because essentially all we had to do was make kills across the entire board. So whether you were an automaton killer or a terminid killer, it didn't make any difference. It all counted. So this is where we're walking into the problems, because it means that the major orders now just aren't labeling up to what we're expecting versus the numbers that we've actually got in game. Now, we have got a new major order, except this one's on the opposite end of the spectrum. This one's a little bit different, because this one right here is 4 to 5 day major order that is asking us to take liberation of one planet, and we already have access to it. But we are not going to complain, because this is essentially a guaranteed collection point, and this one's got something very exciting attached to it that you guys may want to get your hands on. As we see via the briefing right here, it says surveillance satellite security has acquired imagery of a massive automaton factory on the planet Virilia 5. Structural analysis indicates a clear resemblance to the famed Morganson Arsenal on Tainquan. Clearly, this is a crude attempt at replicating the quality craftsmanship of that facility. But this automaton petafactory, as enemy transmissions call it, is merely an aberrant imitation. Its only purpose is to mass produce weapons of war in order to further the automaton's totalitarian agenda. Its worker drones are forced to labor non-stop, and the environmental impacts are devastating. However, this undemocratic abomination may be turned into an instrument of freedom. With low-cost alterations, the petafactory could be retrofitted to allow the construction of a dual autocannon exosuit variant, the Exo 49 Emancipator exosuit. The Helldivers are ordered to liberate Virilia 5 immediately before it comes to despotic salvage. Now, when we take a look in the game, we have obviously got access to this planet already. As we can see right here, Virilia 5 is 11% liberated with over 50,000 Helldivers in there as it stands. A very interesting one, and actually seem to be following this major order quite well. We've not got a massive amount of players on every other planet bar this one. But this one has to be completed in 4 to 5 days. That's a serious amount of time, guys. Serious amount of time to liberate one planet. I don't know if this is either just one of those that we know that we're definitely going to get it done, or if this is going to be one of those where realistically something happens and goes wrong in the last minute, and then we end up fighting for our lives to get this planet back. I have no idea, but this seems a little bit too good to be true. We have 4 or 5 days to be able to take out 3 billion ads, and in the same breath, we have 4 or 5 days to take out 1 planet? Guys, make it make sense. Please, please, please make it make sense. But anywho, we're going to go ahead and get that and have the dual autocannon Exo 49 Emancipator Exosuit Factory. And that's going to be one that we are getting our hands on. Also, on top of that, for those of you guys wondering, 11.5 hours remaining at the point of recording for your personal order, which is to kill 50 enemies using the auto cannon. A nice, easy one, so get your backpacks out and get slamming, guys. But when we take a look at how this game has taken its turn, the major orders need to reflect. As we can see right here, it says all quiet on the galactic front. I still log on every day for my daily order, but it's getting quieter and quieter. A month ago, I'd have to choose which friend group I'd form a full squad with. Now I'm lucky to get any of them online. 800,000 players, April 4th, defeating the bots once and for all, and 22,000 players on May 23rd, we failed another major order. And that does seem to be exactly where we're going, as we're failing major orders consistently at the moment. It's definitely a shame, but hopefully Joel takes a turnaround on this one, as I feel like as a community we definitely need it. One thing else that we definitely needed was this beautiful bugger's face on the screen. We have a Reddit post with over 5,000 upvotes on it, and this one right here is a bloody interesting one. It states he knows. Met Johan at the backstage of Nordic Game and knew what I had to do, as he then showed him the futurization of this, the awesome CEO meme, of which he actually responded to, and I absolutely love this. I absolutely love this. For those of you guys who don't recognize him, that's because he's not wearing a helmet, but this is our former CEO and current CCO of Helldivers 2 over at Arrowhead Game Studios. Very interesting one indeed, and a very, very lovely guy that I seem to get the viewpoint that he's genuinely actually that lovely. Anywho, diving into an amazing, amazing story that we have right here, and this is the Helldiving Dad. This one was one that was really relatable to me. As you guys may already know, I am a father, I have children, and this stuff does take its toll a little bit sometimes. But it stated, just wanted to put out a commendation for the individuals I played with on Vernon Wells last night. We were working hard, powering through our session, when I heard my boy crying from his room. I typed into the chat, "Sorry divers, my son is crying," and went AFK. In the meantime, I completed my personal order, put the son back to sleep, still yet to receive any medals, though cuddles were more than made up for it. I returned about 10 minutes later to find that not only had I not been kicked, I was still alive. An individual, A4, had stood strong and protected me from any harm while I was gone. We then went on to complete our mission with a mere 4 reinforcements remaining. It's been years since I found such a wholesome moment within an online game, and I was astounded by the patience displayed towards a busy dad like myself. If you're out there, thank you for your service last night, divers. I absolutely love this. As a father myself, I would classify myself as a Helldiving dad. This does sometimes take a bit of its toll, and for those of you guys who randomly join up on me sometimes, you'll know that sometimes that does take its placement. I may be a Helldiver and I may be a YouTuber, but I'll always be a father first, and I absolutely love the community that runs inside of Helldivers and how understanding they are of those sorts of things. So let's give some love and appreciation to this post, as it's only got 1.2 thousand upvotes, and we love stories like this here on the channel. So make sure you go and show it some love with a link in the description. Although one conversation that we need to have right now is this Reddit post right here, because I'm not too sure that I agree with it. It states, finally, with a meme that states no new content, Joel gives us an MO for the Emancipator. I personally, as much as I'm including myself in the community for being excited about the Emancipator I am definitely not going to classify this as new content. I don't think it's going to make much difference to majority of the player base, and although it is fun to be able to get usage of this, as we've known about it for a little while now, I think the slow drip feed of stuff like this is probably a little bit of an odd way to go about things. We are unlocking things very slowly. Some people are going to be able to just unlock this straight away with the amount of levels that a lot of people have ground out and resources and materials. Some people are going to unlock this straight away and have to not do really any work for it after it's actually become available. Therefore, not really classifying as new content. There's no new like planetary issues, there's no new race, there's no new selection of new things that we need to unlock, no new modules or anything like that. I do think that it's quite good that we managed to get these weapons drip fed in. I kind of like the slow pace and the way that they're interpreted into the storyline. I think it's an incredible way of doing it, but in the same breath, there are a lot of Helldivers out there who I've spoken to in the comment section quite often, and they no longer play because they have nothing more to do. These people will jump on the day that we complete this major order, and they will jump straight back off again because they'll have obtained it and had a little bit of fun with the Emancipator exosuit, and then we'll end up calling it a day again. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not saying that they're doing anything wrong, because I don't think that they are. The drip feed of stratagems and weapons is a very good way of utilizing the game, although in the same breath we do need something to push it a little bit further. You've got 150 levels, and at level 50 you can have everything completed and have everything already paid for and ordered. So yeah, we need some more usages for this. I think it's definitely something that we need to be looking at over the next couple of months as we move in towards the 6-month bracket of the game's lifeline. Let me know what you guys are thinking, guys, but it's been an incredible day for all Helldivers alike. So head over to Virilia 5 and let's get this XO49 Emancipator exosuit completed. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate your faces. Like if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.